good day. Thank you for being here with us today. My name is Michael Schmeeckle. I'm the host of Everyone's Got a Story. What's yours? Today we have Dennis and Marian. How do you pronounce your last name?
Cihacek.
Cihacek.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
So we're here with the Great Harvest Bread Company,
Right.
and they're here to talk about their story and what they've gone through and how they've went from farm to table to the restaurant to all this beautiful food that they have brought in today. And they have brought it to the communities for how many years?
28 years now.
Well, thank you very much for being part of the community for that many years. And well, we know that we got some more stuff coming up later we'll talk about for the next chapter we're going to go
Well, it's definitely been our pleasure to do this for over the last 28 years. It's been a fun 28 years for us.
I know, as I've been in your cafe down there in Rockbrook, and you've also been at Dundee, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 locations.
And so that one of my favorite things, and I've also put a review on through the Google Maps, is your amazing and delicious grilled cheese sandwiches.
That's right.
Especially with the Dakota bread and what type of cheese do you put in there?
We use 2 different kinds of cheeses. We use a cheddar and a provolone, and then we've got this delicious cream cheese garlic herb spread that we put on it.
Smear.
Yeah, and just smear that right on there, and it's really good.
It is very mouthwatering.
unique.
I'm hungry for it now.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, and the Dakota bread, that's one of our more popular wheat breads. Mm-hmm. So
It's got 5 different seeds in it, so its texture is very crunchy, and it's great for sandwiches. It's great for toast. Just about anything else. A grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And I've seen you brought many things out here for us.
Yeah, we brought a few things that we made today. Certain breads we make every day, like our honey whole wheat, that's every day. And that is one of the things that's unique and special about that is with our business, we don't buy whole wheat flour. We buy grain and we grind it into whole wheat flour every day. So we have fresh whole wheat flour every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not one of these little tabletop. We have an entire room that the grill fit, or that the grinder, the mill fits in. Have an entire room for that.
and we can grind probably about 3 bushels an hour.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
our early morning baker will do the milling, and we'll start really early in the morning and mill the flour before we make the bread.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty
So
awesome.
then the most popular bread is right next to it. That's our cinnamon chip bread. That's the white one with the little brown dots. Everybody loves that. Tastes like cinnamon toast.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, we talked about the Dakota. Then today, that long, skinny loaf you see there, that is Reuben stuffed rye. So we're moving into the leprechaun season. And we flatten out the rye dough, and then we layer in the corned beef and the cheese and the sauerkraut, and we roll it up. It's like a Reuben sandwich in a roll.
That is pretty darn cool.
It's pretty, it's
Then we
very
also, along to complement that, we have a homemade Thousand Island dressing that we make.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
And if you think you don't like Thousand Island dressing, you've never had it homemade before. Once you've had it homemade, it changes your life.
One of my personal favorites is another Nebraska favorite. Yes, you're
Dorothy
correct.
Lynch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been at numerous restaurants that if they don't have Dorothy Lynch, I have a plain salad.
Oh, yeah.
I am that loyal to that brand because I love that flavor so much.
That's
There is a difference between Dorothy Lynch and French.
There is.
Huge difference.
And Dorothy Lynch wins every time.
Yes, I think it's in Duncan, Nebraska, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, by Columbus.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I see something cinnamon and lots of icing over there.
Yeah, that's right. We make mini cinnamon rolls every day. We don't add nuts or raisins because some people don't like nuts, some people don't like raisins, but everybody likes cream cheese icing, and that's what the white stuff squirted on there. Then that brown loaf with the little dots, that's pumpkin chocolate chip.
Say what?
Yeah, we make it year round.
Oh, wow.
Because
Once a week.
once a week, and we make it, and people, even though it's not the fall, people love it.
That's
so they eat
awesome.
it all the time. And then cookies every day, and then those 3 little dots of pastries there, because we have a Czech heritage.
Yes.
Those are kolache.
Ooh, yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, apricot, poppy seed, cherry.
And we make all the fillings from scratch. We don't use any jelly or anything like that. It's all fruit that we make the fillings into, and so everything's fresh.
Everything we make is from scratch.
That is amazing. I'm
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, it's making you drool. Probably need a napkin there.
Yes, I think I should take a drink of water on that one first.
Yeah, exactly. But keeps us busy for sure, because when everything's from scratch, it's a little bit harder than if you just pull something out to thaw and then bake.
Well, scratch is best. I grew up farming a ranch myself.
Oh.
And you've mentioned before when we've been talking that you have your own farm at one time.
Yeah, Dennis grew up on the farm.
Right. And during high school and college, I worked side by side with my dad, and
That's cool.
and learned quite a bit about the business. Also worked for neighbors, and that was very helpful, good experience. And a lot of those experiences, it's amazing how that comes into play today when we're running a business.
Very true, very true.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your story? I know you have a lot of it is in, like your shirt is dashing through the dough.
Yeah.
In a great harvest bread company.
Right.
Um,
And it says on the back of my shirt, "Prepare to meet your baker." Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So as your story began, or where you want to begin at for your story that you've gone through,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about today. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and why it's important to you, please?
Yeah. Well, both of us, 28 years ago, we escaped the corporate world.
Yes.
We both worked for large companies. I traveled quite a bit all over the country, and then we started planning for our family, and we started looking at everything that we were doing, and we felt that it was time to maybe find some kind of some kind of business to get into. We researched, independent businesses. We looked at various franchises. We were living down in Kansas City at the time.
Yeah.
Although we are native Nebraskans.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were living down there, and we thought, well, maybe we could eventually maybe move back to Nebraska. That's where our families are from, and so we researched a lot of different businesses. We looked at franchises. We looked at independent businesses. One of the reasons we looked at franchises is because we really didn't have an idea of what we wanted to do. And we came across, actually we were shopping at a Great Harvest in Kansas City, and we realized that it was a franchise, but it looked different than most franchises. It was,
It looked like a mom and pop store,
yeah.
which is how they ran it. They ran it like a mom and pop store, which is how we run ours.
That's how we
Which is
run ours.
awesome.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we kept coming back to that, and eventually Great Harvest is a small franchise. There's probably 200 locations around the country. Started back in the early 70s.
Nice.
It's headquartered in Montana,
Okay.
in great wheat country. And so we kept coming back to that. We looked at some franchises that looked very controlling. We wanted to be part of a community, and we just felt some of these other franchises, other businesses, maybe were not quite didn't have those values. We kept coming back to a Great Harvest, and we ended up becoming part of the Great Harvest family 28 years ago. There was really no place to open one in Kansas City, so we moved to Omaha, and that's where we opened. So when we first started, we didn't have a location, we didn't have customers.
We didn't have equipment, we didn't have ingredients.
And we had started a family, and
We had a family to feed.
We left our corporate jobs, and we started pursuing Great Harvest Bakery. When we came to Omaha, we were kind of familiar with Omaha because we had lived in Omaha at one time, and we looked all over for a good location. And that's the nice thing about being part of a franchise, is that they provided us quite a bit of support to find the right location. And our first location was in Rockbrook Village
Nice.
at 108th and Center. And we weren't quite excited about it, but we, after a while, realized that that was the best place in the whole city to be.
It's centralized, very centralized.
Centralized, also access to the interstate, which
Yes.
we never even thought about that. But we looked at the neighborhood around it. It was a great neighborhood, strong neighborhood, clean neighborhood.
Good schools.
Good
very
school.
schools.
So we knew it would be and the shopping center itself is a really great shopping center. It's one of the few shopping centers in Omaha where the landlord is right there. It's not run by a manager.
That's cool. Plus, they got different community events that's been going on. Like you mentioned something about the spring and summer.
A craft show coming up this spring, art show in the fall.
They have concerts all
Every
summer.
summer concerts on
Awesome.
Friday
Friday
nights. And then they do this wine walk a couple times a year where it's free wine tasting
Oh my!
at different merchants around the shopping center. That is extremely popular.
So, were there any breads that you would recommend go with the wine?
Oh, anything,
Yeah,
practically anything.
all of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. So little wine, little cheese,
But,
glass of wine.
There we go.
That being located in Rockbrook was one of the best things. Back then there wasn't. It expanded a lot since we've been there in 28 years. There's a lot of neat shops there, and that complement everything that we do, and we complement what they do. So it's a very, very good fit for us over there.
And you've also now at the Dundee area.
Right, that's our second location right there. It's a cute little shop. It's in the walkout basement of a house. It's tiny, but it serves the neighborhood, which is what we wanted.
If I remember right, it's on the east side of the Dundee on Underwood. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. It's you really have to look for it because it's kind of away from the rest of where the merchants are kind of right at the 50th and Underwood. We're about a half a block east of there, and a walkout basement of a house, so you might miss it.
Built back in the early 1900s. So it's actually a four-story house, actually. And
So
we're
it's
in the
actually historical then.
Yeah.
lower level, yeah.
That's pretty
It's a
awesome.
real
Yeah.
small shop, so we don't do extensive baking there, but we do have a baker there that does our
Couple of varieties of bread,
breads, some gluten-free products.
Nice.
dog biscuits, because dogs want a treat too.
Of course, of course.
So we
That's very good.
Yeah,
Make quite a few dog biscuits. They're pretty popular.
yeah.
Yes, they are definitely the puppies got to be taken care of too. Yes.
Right, got to take care of the puppies.
Oh, yes.
And Dundee is a very nice neighborhood too. So there's a lot of neat businesses there. It just
It's a good complement to the neighborhood.
Yeah, just like a nice small town, just like Rockbrook kind of.
Yep, that's I myself. I grew up in a small town community. I consider Omaha. I know Omaha is a good, large-sized city with multiple cities within its metro area. I've been here since February 2000.
Okay.
So I'm a country boy back in the middle of Nebraska, around Loup City, Nebraska, is where I'm from. So the aspect is, I always have envisioned Omaha as a small town, just spread out.
Yeah, that's right. It's really spread out.
Just got to give yourself a little time to drive across town and
Right.
stuff. But all in all, you still have that. We still have lots of elbow room to work with. We have just a kind of small town mentality, but yet we still have the big city aspect.
Yeah, yeah. It's very it's unique in that aspect right there. With the
So what makes you feel inspired and motivated as you continue doing what you're doing? Family, business, and so forth.
well, our customers are very inspiring and motivating. Just the energy you get from dealing with customers across the counter, you say, well, how's your day going? And they'll tell you. Or if their day's going terrible, they'll tell you. They'll tell you what's going on with them, which is really nice. You say, well, what do you got planned? And they'll tell you that. And, how are your children? And, it's like its own little small town right there in the bakery.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
very.
we have a lot of pretty interactive employees that work at our shops, and we have people that come in early in the morning to have coffee and visit, and it's just great to see the same ones coming in every day. And like Marian said, I think the customers are probably the most motivating factor that we.
But our crew is also very, I mean, over the years, what have we had? How many
We've
have we
had
had?
hundreds of students
Yeah.
that
They're at UNO, they're in high school, and it gives them a chance. The parents love to have their kids work for us. For one thing, they get to take home free bread. But the other reason is we close at 6:30. So by 7 o'clock, the kids on their way home still have time to have dinner, do their homework, get to bed at a reasonable hour.
That actually is awesome.
Yeah, and we're closed on Sundays. So it gives you one day a week where you don't have to work.
And it's amazing to see a lot of these students, they come in high school, they haven't had a lot of experience doing different things. We have some that maybe work for us for 6 years, even through college, high school and college. And it's amazing what they end up doing. You know, we have some that are doctors, and we have some that are lawyers and nurses and
college professors and soccer coaches. And
then
awesome.
at the holidays, they come back and they want to, let me help out.
Yeah, they'll help out. When we need that extra pair of hands, they're willing to help. So that's inspiring.
You both are like mentors and parents and grandparents to the kids that are part of your work crew.
Yeah.
The families you're huge in the community. You work together and you empower each other as not just as a job, but you're there and you care deeply for each and every one that's there, not just the customers. It is a very beautiful dynamic.
Thank you. That's what we've always strived for. As Dennis mentioned, we work the corporate business, and that isn't what we wanted. We wanted a place where it would be fun to come to work and people would enjoy it, and we make, I mean, I don't mean to boast, I do mean to boast. Our product is very, very good, very delicious.
Yeah, and we wanted to have an impact on the community, and I think we've achieved that, several times. And also, I don't know if we mentioned, but we raised four kids while we've been doing
Four of them, yeah.
Great Harvest, and I think it's been a good experience for us and for them.
Yeah, we made them work in the business too.
Yeah, they all work in the business, and
it's good.
They've got some great careers going for them. So
That's good.
It was a good place for them to work starting out.
It helps build that work ethic. I mean, like when we went through, like from farming and ranching and so forth, you build it up from the family it is, and you grow into that, getting the skill sets it is as you grow into the adulthood of life.
Right, yeah.
So it's great to have that family core and be able to have a strength that you can fall back upon and know that you are a huge part of your family and they care deeply for you as you do for them, and you extend that to your customers, your workers, and the people that you're all connected with.
Right. Yeah, and that was part of our goal in starting a business, was to be a part like that.
The other thing, it was nice to have a bakery when we had kids going through school, because during their conferences we could always bring bread
to the teachers.
But it seemed like it never did help.
Never did help, no. But it was we did it anyway. And even the gym teacher and the art teacher wanted to see us. Usually those are the ones you never have to see, but we said, yeah, we want to talk to everybody. So give them a loaf of bread and see how the kid was doing. So
well, it's always good. It's always good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So any words of wisdom for someone that may be watching our show today?
Well, don't be afraid to start a business. It's hard work, but it's extremely satisfying and rewarding. Particularly if you do something that you're interested in, have a passion for, and you'll just learn. If you don't feel like you're an entrepreneur, you will learn those skills as you go. If you really love it. We weren't really entrepreneurs when we started, but looking back, we go, oh, we've done things that an entrepreneur would do. You find an obstacle and you overcome that, and you think of something fun to do and something to advance your business, and that's what you do. Yeah.
And for people that that are thinking about a business, and when we came into Great Harvest, we didn't know anything about really baking. We had good business backgrounds, but and being part of Great Harvest and being franchise, freedom franchise, where they allow us to do what we like doing. But they're still there to help with the training. They can help train people to bake. We can help people. We help people, our staff, learn how to bake, and most of them have no experience.
We try not to look over the crew members. We try not to look over their shoulders too much.
Right.
Try to tell them what we need to have done and let them run with it. And it's amazing what they come up with.
And that's how the franchise treats us too.
Yeah.
So.
And to have leaders, because there's a difference between bosses and leaders. Leaders inspire others to be more than what they are. Bosses, yes, they're out there, they're good at what they do, but sometimes the micromanaging stifles that entrepreneurial spirit.
Creativity.
Yes. So by having that freedom to instill the trust and the opportunity for them to grow in themselves as they grow as being an employee to the employer, and to have, just like the dough, they rise and
That's a really good point. Right.
So as there's different events coming up here. I know you mentioned the Rockbrook has an event coming up. Would there be anything else you'd like to add about what's going on in both your worlds?
Well, I think it's important to note that we've been doing this for 28 years.
Yes.
And we're looking towards retirement. And so we're looking to sell our businesses.
Okay.
I like to tell people it's a buy one, get one free.
Okay.
So you buy Rockbrook and the Dundee one just comes along for free.
Okay.
But it's very reasonably priced. It is turnkey. You'll have to bring money home the first day you're there. And
Loyal
training,
customer base.
well, yeah, training is available, and we just think it would be a really good opportunity for someone. Yeah.
Definitely, it is, because as you've instilled it with your employees and so forth over the years, you built your family up, you've gained so much growth of the opportunity, so you're going to be able to be the consultant and help them. They're not going to be like, I know myself, I've been an entrepreneurial since 1995. I did my art, I graduated with an art degree, and I was at, I think it was Red Apple Ceramics in Columbus, Nebraska, if I remember correctly. I was making my dad this Eagle Stein, and turned out really well. And then I got more of a passion for that, and I still do ceramics every so often here and there. Actually, Paint and Play Ceramics in Ralston is the one I've been going to since 1995.
It's fun. Yeah.
And they are still in business, which is awesome.
That is good.
And then I've gone through, I can connect with you on food aspect. I used to have a company with making gourmet healthy cheesecakes that did not taste healthy. And
that tasted delicious.
yes.
And you wouldn't suspect they were healthy.
Yep, I did it from 97 to 2010. And then life happens with me, and I'm added another thing into coaching, life empowerment coaching. So yes, I understand the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, there is so many dynamics that you'll never find a fulfill of emptiness. You'll find different things to work on,
Right.
gain new skills, and of course, never be afraid to ask.
Right.
Ask somebody.
Ask somebody a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. And just just running the bakery has just been a great experience for us. It was great for our kids, for them to grow up in the bakeries. The bakeries also. It was just been a really good,
and
wholesome
learning from
family.
the customers.
Oh,
That's
learning
a
from the customers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I myself, I am one of those
That's
customers.
right. We learned a lot from you too.
Well, I definitely have enjoyed both your times, and I've also enjoyed your company, your food.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, being honest is the best way in my world.
Yeah.
So thank you both very much.
Well, thanks for having us here.
Is there anything else you'd like to add on top of what we've talked about
Well, I think
as we wrap up?
yeah, I think it's just important to know that it's a fabulous business, and every time there's an obstacle in your way, you see and you turn that obstacle into an opportunity.
Yes.
So,
yes.
and then you hop over that one, but there's going to be something else in your way. That's what entrepreneurs do.
Yes.
They see an obstacle, they solve the problem, they move on.
Yeah. Problem solvers, critical thinkers, we love to have a challenge
Right.
and to make that challenge into an opportunity, which obviously you can never go hungry at
Never
a
hungry.
bread company.
That's right.
We also want to thank all of our customers over the years. I mean,
Oh,
we
yes.
Fabulous.
Like we talked about earlier, we've got some fabulous customers that have been with us a long time. They were with us during COVID. We were able to stay open during COVID and provide product that they couldn't get elsewhere. And so
Yeah. So we just, every time there's a challenge, we tried to make it to an opportunity for ourselves.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you both for being here today, and I thank you out there in the audience for being on our show of Everyone's Got a Story. What's yours? And my name is Michael Schmeeckle, and thank you.